Welcome back to more Project Hospital, where the excitement and the negative income never cease. We are, of course, still struggling with our income. I think I'm going to start shaving up some of our departments. If we take a look at our expenses, lots of wages in both the emergency ICU. ICU sucks because it doesn't ever give you any money. It's just a constant drain on your resources. However, you are able to stabilize people and then eventually return them to wherever the heck they're supposed to go. The only problem is that I need so many more beds that it's just like a never-ending cycle to try to get the beds in place. So, what I'm going to do is make sure, yeah, we've got our first top three insurance companies. If I manage to get this event to pop up, finish one event in a row, I will cycle over to Quick Snap Care. Oh no, we might have to have that on to even get the event in the first place, which would suck because that really cuts back on our sends. So I think I'll focus on maybe trying to expand the ICU as soon as possible. Also, moving the ICU up here above our emergency room. That might be something I try to do if we can ever manage to get all three patients out of the ICU at a time. But here's to hoping. We are making a good bit of money every day. It's a couple thousand, normally above. Well, actually, look at that: 11,000, 10,000, 19,000. Was that from anything else? Just one day? A lot of surgeries from the cardio department. So I will focus on getting those cleaned up. I also was trying to find. Yeah, are you a doctor in here, Mr. Diagnostic Unit? You are, I think. You are one of the generic doctors that we've got for, I think it's the night shift. So I keep seeing that people are taking a very long time to get seen in the cardio room and things like that. So I think I'm going to try to maybe rearrange some of our rooms. And one of the things I could do here is take out the wall, the doors, of course, and then move one of the other cardio rooms. Maybe I'll tear down the other one and we'll just roll with two. I don't think it's a matter of how many rooms we have. It's actually a matter of how many doctors we have is the bigger problem. So let me move the the diagnostic unit that nobody is using right now. We'll move this in the corner. No one puts the diagnostic room in the corner, and then what we'll do is trash the other one just to get a little bit of money back. That's not a ton, but it would help a little tiny bit. Actually, it really was a tiny bit. So the only thing we have is the what do we have these? God, I never did sell these, did I? A couple items that I remember we were messing around with the rooms and whatnot, and I was trying to make my own custom room. We sell that bed and a couple of these. There we go. So the need during the day for the cardiography unit is critical. So that means it's pretty busy during the day. It's nonstop people coming in trying to use it. I would love to put that down closer to our patient beds, but I'm honestly out of room with all of our patient beds. I suppose I could put one person, if I could get this bed freed up over here. This is where the most space. Actually, you know what? Yeah, that is probably the most space. Oh, hey, you are freed up. Can I move you right this moment because no one is using you? Let me do this, and I'll try to grab this room and send it on down. Hang on. I got a little bit too much of the room, I think. I got an extra piece. So what I'm trying to do is just clear up enough space to put the diagnostic unit, or whichever one I was looking at there, the cardiography maybe, a little bit closer to everyone else. So there's just less walking room, less time wasted getting from point A to point B. Now, the only thing is I think the doctors are the ones that are really holding us back right now. So I may have to get more doctors on call if they're, because right here you're what, you are performing on Frank Moore. How many people are waiting for some kind of test? Maybe that could really speed up part of our problems because we have people like you're waiting for an EKG. Okay, you are getting what right now, Mr. William King over? No, you're somebody else. You're waiting for a CRP and the thorax percussion. You're getting a CT, or you've had a CT, I think. So you don't have anything queued up. I think part of the problem is that a lot of people are just waiting for different types of procedures, and so that means they sit there and wait, especially when they come in critical, and they're supposed to get over to the diagnostic unit faster. So let me do this then. Let me go ahead and grab another night shift doctor. Wrong area. Here we go. Another night shift doctor. We'll grab a couple of just generic residents here. They don't have to be fabulous. They just need to run the equipment. And I think I'm even going to put a couple on the day shift. We have 4 doctors on day shift. I'm going to add one more doctor to the day shift just to help them out with the basic stuff. I don't think they need to participate in surgery or anything. Wow, you guys are having a super late surgery. Is it still day shift? Oh, it is. I didn't even notice that. All right, well, hopefully this will help out. We'll have more people in our diagnostic units, which means faster turnaround time for getting diagnosed. That's my hope anyways. I'm not entirely sure if that's going to work out. Are you free? No. Let me go ahead and kill this room real quick. I know no one's going to be able to use it, and they're all going to get grumpy at me, but that's okay. That is okay. Dang it. Why is no one... Why is this... Okay. Come in, leave. Okay, there we go. The seat was reserved by someone far away. That's why it wouldn't let me use it. So, let me grab this, since this is one of the other diagnostic rooms that is used. Do I have it oriented the right way? I think I do. And let me go ahead and kill the extra door. And then I'll reassign my lovely technician here so that we can have someone be a wee bit closer to all of our people's. What are we missing? What was this? Cardiography unit. Yep. All right, so the cardiography unit is going to be back in action, and we'll sign Judy Robinson and Mary Davis. Are you guys night or day shift? You don't care too much. Okay, fair enough. So that is that part taken care of. We've got a little bit, diagnostic stuff closer to their bedrooms. Hopefully people will be getting more doctors attending to them. What else do we have to look into? We wanted to check the prestige problem. ICU is doing well. General surgery someone probably just didn't go to the bathroom at the right time. Why do we have so much? Let's just take a couple random people here. Are you guys happy? You're pretty happy. Your needs are well met. The thing is, you have so many people in this department. If 1 or 2 or 3 of them are having a really bad day, that's going to pull the entire department down. So I think part of that is the staff being too busy. So we have to make sure. Here we go. Here's a master janitor who's just grumpy. Are you just depressed, or you just don't care? Your belly's filled. You know what? I don't like you. We're gonna kick him out. Sorry. I know that's rather random, but hey, it is what it is, man. You gotta roll with the punches and be flexible. I'll let this run for a little bit. What I think I'm going to try to do is go through some of our departments and trim up, again, some of those more expensive doctors that I've got. Aren't we doing night shift right now? We have a 24/7 clinic. I don't think the clinic is bringing in that much traffic to warrant having an overnight staff. So I think what I'm going to probably do is let go our night shift folks at the laboratory. Not necessarily at the radiology department, because a lot of people still get tested overnight there. But I mean, we've got 2 doctors that are working. You are costing me $220. I mean, do you even see any patients at all? What's your nighttime workload? It is medium. So I guess people are coming through, but it's one of those things. Is it making us enough money to warrant keeping the clinic open overnight? And I suppose what I could do is, once it rolls to the midnight, that's going to start a new day, we'll see how much money we make up until 9 a.m. That'll tell us, how many patients come in overnight for the overnight 24/7 clinic. So I'm not sure if it's going to be something we want to do, but we can mess around until we find our good rhythm. I think this is helping out. So I was watching a couple patients come in. Both of my diagnostic units are pretty much full-time staff now by my doctors, so that means that there's always someone there to help out. I also was wondering, maybe I should include there's no waiting room available at radiology. We don't really have much. What do you mean? Oh, you know what? I think I broke radiology at some point. Yeah, I forgot I wound up moving this room to handle the incoming. Can I just steal a bench, maybe? I kind of forgot all about this. All right, there we go. We'll steal a wee bit of a bench, and I will add a waiting room here. But yeah, so I think by keeping those rooms available, put down my waiting room here. By keeping the diagnostic rooms in kind of heavy usage by doctors, having more doctors available, that's going to help them quickly take care of any of our emergent patients. So here's to hoping that's going to help us long term. Really what I want to do is avoid deaths, and I want to avoid people collapsing. That's what the entire goal of everything is, to stop the collapses. Because when someone collapses, they go to ICU, which means they have to take up an ICU bed, which means that someone else who is going to collapse or have an emergency can't take that ICU bed. So if we can focus on getting... what are you? You are over in ortho. I don't know. Fever? Do a bunch of stuff on him. Who knows? Yeah, temperature measurement. Sure. So, yeah, if you try to get those symptoms that are causing all of the collapses, if you can get those identified, then you can treat them. So, one of the big ones, for example, if I can find it, is like an irregular heartbeat, which is all you need for that would be, or hypertension. Here we go. If you find hypertension, if you unlock it, you can give them an anti-hypertensive medication, which suppresses the symptom that causes a collapse, which is what you want. So, I think the faster we get people diagnosed, the faster we get people into a thing. Here we go, for example. This guy's queued up for an EKG. How long have you been waiting? You don't have a complaint about it, so I'm assuming you're relatively not upset. And I think an EKG is done in the diagnostic unit, unless it's done in this room here. Let's take a look. We'll see how long. This is a good example. You want to track your patients that have things show up. so you can find out how long it really takes them to get to a room. Apparently this guy it's forever. What are you waiting on? AKG. Scheduled, waiting for a doctor or a technologist. Required the cardiography room. So the cardiography is the special room that has a nurse. Okay, so this is one that we only have one of. This is a room that we only have one of with one nurse. So maybe that's another problem or another area I can focus on as soon as we ever get some money back. By the way, you know what? I think I have far too many HDU beds. Come to think about it. I don't think I need all these HDU beds right now. So maybe I could trash a few. Number one, give us some space. Number two, give us a little bit of money. I don't think these are worth a ton. I want to move this patient out at some point. Can I don't really want to send her away. I'll get it in the morning. What I'll do is I'll clear out these two rooms, try to get a little bit of money, especially if I'm moving towards having our rooms kind of staggered or stacked like this, or a more condensed version. We're not going to be needing quite as many rooms, and I haven't seen these many beds fill up as I have in the past. So I'll use the money from these rooms, hopefully, to grab another cardiography unit and another nurse, and therefore treat people faster, do the faster echoes, and get their symptoms taken care of earlier. Alright, there we go. Our cardiography unit is now in operation. So hopefully, here's to praying and hoping that we are going to have our new folks taken care of, or not new folks, but existing folks taken care of. What about you? You still waiting for that dang echo, or have you already had it? Somebody over here, I thought. Everyone looks good finally. Okay, I'll watch this for a bit and see if this helps to reduce the wait time. And honestly, this could make a big difference for us. Also, at some point, if I can snag like a couple $1,000s, I could make a little bit of a hallway here to connect the elevator over to the rest of the surgical ward. So that way people can get a bed a little bit faster than having to go all the way downstairs to the elevator, then come back in. So we'll see. I think the addition of the extra doctors and the extra rooms are really coming in handy. So I was watching a couple patients come through. They're getting checked out much quicker than they were before. Let's watch this random person. You have CHF, which is congestive heart failure. So you do have some kind of a hidden symptom. You're queued up for HDU hospitalization. So let's see how long it takes someone to come get him, number one. That's a big step. They have to go down the elevator and then go grab the patient and bring them back up to cardio. So he's been chilling out for a good little bit. There comes our nurse. Okay. So again, hidden symptom. One of these symptoms will lead to collapse because it's pulsating. So he goes into a room. He should get queued up for everything. There we go. So he came in, got queued up, get checked on by a nurse, which is like, hey, you're still alive. Great, but you're about to have a heart attack. Still waiting. That wasn't too bad. They already came and grabbed a cart for him. I wish I would have checked the time. I doubt it was more than about an hour or two. So that's a pretty decent turnaround. I think what the problem had been recently for me is that I was waiting far too long, or I was getting delayed from getting my patient seen. So boom, right there, we've got hypertension. So as soon as this guy goes back to his room, he's going to get on the anti-hypertensive medication, which suppresses the hypertension. Now, he still has something else, though. Okay, so he's queued up for an EKG this time. We'll see if we can't get some more of these hidden symptoms knocked out. Nope, we did that. What else do we need to do for you? Oh, cool. They actually took him from one exam room to the other exam room. Nice. There we go. A regular heartbeat, which is going to be beta blockers as soon as he comes back in. Nice. We do have finally someone collapsing. I haven't had someone collapse in quite a bit of time. You have a traumatic aortic rupture. Well, that's part of the problem is we couldn't have surgery on you. Where are you taking him to? He's collapsing right now. So I think they're taking him down to ICU. We need to queue him up for cardio surgery, pretty much. But I think he might die out before then. God, look how long those elevators take. That is a rather long time in the speed of hospitals. And it's nice to see that the ICU hasn't had many beds used. There have not been many collapses. And so, for this guy, really the problem was that there was no one available to get him surgery, to do the surgery overnight. But now that our doctors are coming in, I'm curious how fast this will trigger over to the actual surgery. So you'll see it queued up in blue, which means it's coming soon. There's really nothing else to do for him until we get the surgery. So it's really a matter of getting the staff on board inside and queued up. So he's been assigned to Dr. William Moore, which is one of our specialists, I think. They're still coming up from the day shift. So maybe we do need a surgical team at night at some point, once we have more money. But just for those emergency cases, we'll be able to treat those midnight surgeries or the midnight aortic ruptures. There we go. She's reserving the room, I think. He's getting pulled up because now it's yellow. We're missing our doctors. We've got our nurses scrubbed in. Where the hell are my doctors at? There they go. I don't know why they took so long to get inside, but much better. Okay, so he should. I don't think I've ever seen anyone die inside of surgery. I feel like as soon as you go into the surgery, it suppresses it immediately. So on the way to surgery or in the surgery itself, they don't have too many issues. Well, that's much better. I've not seen a lot of collapsing, which in the end results in more money because more people are surviving, fewer people are being sent away. Although you wouldn't know that by all the money we're not making today. Boo. Lack of money, boo. But we'll let it roll for a bit, and I did trim down a couple other departments. We only made... How much money did we make yesterday? $1,400 at the end-all, be-all, after all the, everything was said and done. Which is painful. Which is super painful. I guess we'll just keep hoping for that emergency event thing. Where are you at, my friend? You are in heart failure. You require, what, nitrates? I guess for this one... You must have just came up. Let's see how long this person takes to get into the physical exam. Here's a problem here is that we have to send them to angio. And I think angio is always queued up. So they have to wait for angio a lot of times. I'm waiting with bated breath. Barbara Young is collapsing as well. Now okay, so I guess her symptom of heart failure just stopped. So she just is on angio. See, angio actually, or not angio, sorry, she's on nitrates. Angio got grayed out because it took too long. So I wonder if it, oops, I'm tracking her, so that keeps flapping me back. I wonder if it'll re-queue itself up. Not entirely sure how that works. So angio is grayed out, skipped for too long. You got all your other stuff coming up. But angio was removed. Now, the angio room is still queued up, though, as part of the problem. A little bit funky. I'll have to mess around with that a little bit more to see if there's a good balance or not. But at least we know roughly what's happening with that person and why they're collapsing. We had 3 people in a row collapse. I'm so bummed. Everyone else was doing so well. How are you feeling? IHD with heart failure. Your treatment is, what, IV infusion? Cardiovascular surgery. Why isn't this queued up yet? You're still waiting for all of your exams to take place. So here we start to see the strain during the day, it looks like, on all the different departments. But I think having more doctors, more nurses is going to help. Down the road, future planning here, I think what we're going to do, if I'm able to compress the rooms and have more of these, what are they called again? The IHD, UHD? HDU, sorry. So if we can have more HDU beds rooms to have them all kind of more dense together, we'll be able to treat everyone on, like, maybe everyone on one side. So have all the rooms here. I would still want to have a nursing station on either end of the hallway. And then maybe we just kind of fill up the other side of the hallway with scans. With cardiography, with diagnostic units. Not all the way, but enough to, really reduce the flow and the need. But I think right now they all stay critical. You're medium. The cardiography unit's medium, but the diagnostic unit is going to be critical, like, all the time. So I think having another 2 of these, especially if we start to make these rooms more dense and if we get more sends every day, will help out down the road. But that's just, again, future planning. If we mirror in reverse this side of the hospital onto the final wing out here, we could do the same thing. So more bedrooms, more scanning, things like that. I just don't know how much the game will send you long term. But I assume as we continue to expand and we get more and more people being sent to us, that we'll have to have room for more and more people, unless we start spreading to other departments and we get a much more even balance. So if we get more people sent to neurosurgery, if we get more people sent to general, things like that. These poor abandoned departments. It must be really sad going to work every day. You're like, well, going up to the in construction floor. God, it's a nightmare up here. Couple other things I want to do with the cardio floor is redesign where the break rooms are. I might start trying to use a break room that goes through the hallways or connects the hallways here, if I can fit it in. I don't know, I've got a couple ideas, but of course, all these wonderful ideas take money, which we do not have much of at the moment. So I'll let it run as per normal. Thanks so much for continuing to be patient with me as I treat my patients. Oh, dad jokes galore, my friends. I've been watching Nancy Lewis from the start. Sad that she collapsed basically, or she's collapsing, and we don't have an open bed for her. It's really awkward that they don't treat them right there first. It's like they won't stabilize them in the room. They'll wait till they're dying down in ICU. Apparently, as long as they die in ICU, that's fine with everyone else. Can I clear anyone else over to a different department? I can't move you, or you, or you. Okay, so all of our ICU beds sadly are taken up. That means that a good old Nancy Lewis is going to have to get kicked out of here. Overall, I think we're doing better. Today was a better day for money making. 97,000 before everything else hits the fan, including our taxes, or not taxes, but interest and whatnot. So that should leave us with about 4,000 or so, which isn't too shabby. So at the moment, I don't remember if I have to re-enable my next objective or not, but I think I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to close off the... but you sent us the most ambulance patients. Let's go ahead and close off Liver TY, and we'll pick up Quick Snap Care again. And I hate doing that, mostly because it's a brand new insurance contract that doesn't have any of the bonuses ready to go. But we'll hopefully get some kind of an event soon that's going to let us get the event buttons. And then after we get the buttons, we should... I think it'll probably be event related, like, oh, do 3 events, or do 3 events manually, or something like that. And you'll be able to move up on the tree. I'm just hoping we can get some grants again pretty soon. I would like to, at this point, add a couple more beds to ICU, and then focus on maybe one specific department, kind of flushing it out, making sure we're getting another surgery unit up and running. I don't know which one's going to be better for us, though. Although, at the end of the day, I imagine most of them are going to be similarly performing. Neurosurgery, I think neurosurgery has more risk to it, but as long as we hire doctors who aren't completely inept, I think we're going to be fine in terms of the performance. I've never seen a heart failure fail, which is or a heart surgery fail, which is interesting. So I don't know if that's even a concept in the game of your surgeries failing if the operating has a certain lack of skill or something like that. So we could experiment with that. Either ortho, I don't know, ortho or general surgery. Maybe general surgery wouldn't be bad. Maybe that's a catch-all, be-all for everything else. So we could try that out as our next surgical wing. But by and large, I think I need to get some more beds for ICU, and we need to focus on getting more events if we can, which is probably more challenging than it sounds because they're so fickle sometimes. The events come through, and if you misdiagnose a patient, the event is a failure. So you really have to micromanage a lot of the special event, occurrences. But I think I'll wrap it up here today. This might be a little bit of a short episode, but we will be back soon as always. Thank you so much for joining me for more Project Hospital. My name has been Tobal. Thanks so much for joining me. Take care.